Hi friends. So let's start with today's analysis. Before we come to the Indian markets, let's just take a slight overview on how the global markets have been doing since yesterday. So we'll start with Trump's speech in Davos. So I think there was a half an hour speech from Trump, and then he also entered into a question answer live scenario there in Davos. So I'll just not go on all the topics, but just pick up the important thing which is relevant for our markets. So first thing he told related to the interest rates, and he told very loudly and clearly that he wants the interest rates to go down, and at the right moment and the right appropriate time, he will talk to Mr. Powell for reducing the interest rates. So that's one thing. He's also not in favor of dollar strengthening to such an extent, and he wants a dollar to be weakened so that you go for rate cuts and there is a scenario for higher growth. That's another part. Second thing he told about the war between Russia and Ukraine, he told Ukraine is ready to have any deal with Russia. Now Russia has to come forward and make a deal with Ukraine so that the war can end there. It will not be easy and slow process. It will not be easy and fast process. It might take some time, but that is what he indicated that the at least one of the parties ready to end the war, and second party has also shown signs of readiness to end the war. So that's the second part. Third, uh, he uh, he was very buoyant on Europe. So he wants sanctions to increase. He also wants because he thinks that there's a lot of trade deficit between Europe and US, and that's why he want to ask them to increase their GDP increase their expenses on a defense, and he wants them to get 5% of GDP, etc., etc. That was for Europe and US to be made, and that's why there was a slight movement, or in fact, there was a significant movements in currency between dollar and euro as the speech was going on. But one more important thing was related to the Saudi Arabia. He told Saudi Arabia, he requested Saudi Arabia Prince to reduce the oil prices so that we have a benign environment, and the money which is getting used by Russia and Ukraine for funding the war, if the oil prices go down, that will also help in reducing the war damage. That was another big thing for Indian markets. So two big things for Indian markets. He wants interest rates to go down, dollar weakening, and this particular thing of oil prices keeping down. So these are three things which were important for us. Apart from that, he wants to end the war. He want to make America great again. He also indicated that he wants the corporate taxes of America to come down to around 15%, which are currently 21%. India is placed at 22%. 21% is America, and now he wants to bring them to 15%, which is actually, if it happens, it will be one of the lowest corporate taxes in the world. And that is why probably a lot of money is going into the American markets. People feel that there is a lot of wealth to be made in dollar terms in US markets, and that's the reason why why we see a lot of money being taken out from the emerging markets, and the money is being poured into the uh, US mother markets. That's another thing. He also indicated some things on China, but nothing to worry as for Indian markets, so I'll not take too much time on that. Markets also reacted very sharply. US market reacted very sharply after his speech, and we saw Dow closing around 400 points up, and S&P and Nasdaq also in green. Nasdaq was trading above 20,000 levels, and S&P made consecutive second day all-time high. So S&P is now trading at an all-time high. Dow is also only around 500 points away from an all-time high. So that's a trade which is being played out. All the money is going into America for the expectations which the Trump rally will bring in, and that's a reason why we are seeing so much of selling continuously. So with all these speeches and other things, what happened is crude prices again softened, and it was now trading below $78. So at one point of time, it was touching $85. It has cooled down around 7 to 8%, and now it's trading below $78. That's again a good news. And yesterday also he again told that I would like my oil producers to increase the quantity of oil so that the oil prices remain benign. So considering all this, there are less chances now that oil will have a one-way rally towards 85 $90. Probably it should remain in this range, around $80 or so. So that should be the range of crude now, 75 to 80, or let's say 70 to $80. That's what. And if the Russia-Ukraine war ends and we lift up the sanction, if America lift up the sanctions on Russia, then probably we'll can see the crude prices going down even below $70. Who knows? So that was again the thing, which is the American markets closed very high. S&P is still trading at all-time high, and so I think that's why we got a good handover from US. Gift Nifty was signaling somewhere around 50-60 points up in the morning, although we opened lower in the pre-market, but Gift Nifty was showing around up by 50-60 points. So this was about Trump, what happened, and this is how the global markets were panning out. We also saw a 0.25% increase in Japan interest rates. Their Bank of Japan has increased interest rate 0.25. Might be there is some yen carry trade which played out today because markets were weak in the first session and again in the last session. So probably those things might happen to a certain extent, but most of the things were in the prices, and that's why we didn't see a huge rally which happened in August 24 when the interest rates for Japan were increased by 0.25 basis points. But this time when it was increased by 0.25% points, we didn't see much damage into, at least in outcome to our markets, except for the last 2 hour session. So that's what happened in Japan. So nothing much from China and Europe. So nothing to discuss there. We come to the Indian markets. I think Indian markets, the problem has been the results. I think pathetic results. We saw the results from India Mart. We saw the results from KE Industries, Polycab, Dixon. Now again, yesterday we got a set of results. Again, pathetic results. We saw from Mphasis. Mphasis, although the results, the stock went up because of the conference call where the management told that the next quarter, which is a Q4 of this financial year, it will be the best quarter among in the last 3 years. So that's why probably there was a 13% intraday range today for Mphasis, and it pulled up from the lows. But apart from that, if you see, this is a sign. It was pathetic. I think in the whatever results of midcap were coming, they were all pathetic. Yeah, AU Small Finance Bank also the provisions were very high, although the stock climbed because there was a lot of short positions, but the result was not good. Deposit growth was not good, and also provisions are very high. So AU Bank was a mixed set of numbers, although the stock reacted differently, but the numbers were not good. So even other stocks also, whatever the results came yesterday, I think they were all not to be discussed. I think pathetic results. So that is the reason why you saw midcap index performing very badly today. And I probably, it's the right thing also because there are hardly any numbers today. Also, just now we have got the result of JSW Steel. The profit is down by around 80% YOY basis. We saw the results of HUL. Again, the profit was down. Volume growth was muted. Although we were seeing today resilience in FMCG market, FMCG stocks today. In fact, last 2-3 days it has been very resilient. The reason is that people are expecting some things in terms of tax cuts and all from the budget now, and that's why the market is trying to price in that. So apart from that, what happened in the Indian markets today? Again, I think FI is very cleverly they trapped the traders. So yesterday they did some short covering around 15,000, 20,000 contracts were covered yesterday of shorts, and there was a buying in stock futures. Although there was a selling in cash, but they were buying in stock futures, and probably some of the shorts were also covered. So market participants were enthusiastic that we might see a huge short covering rally today. Market also went up, but again, second half we saw brutal selling once again, and the markets went down. But I think the market action was telling that there was still some short covering, although I have not seen the data. The data is yet to be seen, but it was looking like because the markets are volatile, it opened lower, then again went up, then again came down, then again went up, then again came down. So generally, FIAs know when they do this kind of short coverings, they generally make this market very volatile. VIX also was up around 3% at one point of time. Then it cooled off, although it again ended up in positive only. So generally, when they are covering up their positions, they do it like this because they are short, so they don't want to cover their positions in losses. That's why they keep on selling their portfolio shares so that the market remains down and they get a chance to cover their short. So probably that is the action which I think happened today also. It happened yesterday also. We had some short covering. I think according to me, it's happening today as well. Also, when some of the stocks, when they start reacting uh, good on the results, on the bad results, then probably we might think that the selling is come to a close, or it's coming near to a close. Anyways, I think before budget they have to cover their shorts. Anyway, there's expiry on 30th. More importantly, I don't think FIs will go short in such a big event. Although they are very covered, they don't go with open position. But let's see. So as of now, markets are reacting to the results. Results are actually not coming good at all, especially for the mid cap and small cap companies. We are still seeing some decent results from at least the Nifty companies and all, but I think the mid cap companies are really discouraging the way the results are coming out. That's not good news. Although if the market is trying to price in the bad results and if the stocks are coming down, I think it's an opportunity to buy. At least for the stocks where uh, it might be a temporary slowdown due to government expenses, government expenditure being dried up in elections and all those things. So probably that is one area where we can look on. And anyways, we are long on the positions. Our stop loss is still to be hit. FIs are trying very hard to hit the stop losses of Bank Nifty and Nifty very hard. I don't know why they're doing it, but they generally do that. And also, many of the market participants are telling that probably they want to fill the gap and they want the market to at least go down once to 22,800, and one time they again want to test the lows of Bank Nifty. Let's see. They will do that. They'll be able to do that if the numbers from ICICI Bank, which are due tomorrow, they don't come in line. So they'll get a chance to do that. That's for sure. So I think in terms of banking stock, we only ICICI Bank and SBI numbers which can change the track. And in terms of Nifty, I think the numbers which are important is FMCG and auto now. Pharma also today, we got the result from Dr. Reddy yesterday. Pathetic results again. There was a dip in margins, there was a dip in profit. The commentary also not good. So that's what I'm saying. The results probably are coming so bad, and probably that's the reason why FIs have been a seller. They have the smart money, they are the smart investors. They know how to, or they at least know when to take out, when to get out of the markets, which we are not, which we as investors uh, lack the clarity and lack the courage to book our losses and come out of the market. But these people are heartless. They go by rules, they go by levels, and I think they have been the smartest people. They have been selling the Indian market right from October onwards. We saw the October quarter earnings very bad, which were reflecting the results on July, August, September. Even now, they are net sellers. We have broken the lows of October, November, December. We are gone. We have further gone down to those levels because the results of October, November, December quarter is also even bad, and that's why we have been discussing the results of Q3 will be worse than Q2, and that's what is happening. And if we believe on FIs, they think the improvement can only happen from Q1 of, or let's say H1 of next financial year. So I think they'll be right because I have seen generally they're always right. They're hardly any time when they're wrong. As of now, they've been proven to be right. Although they told that the Q4 numbers would be slightly better of this financial year. But let's see, the base is higher. This time also the base was very high. That's why we are seeing large dips in terms of YOY results if we compare. But I think all the hopes are now on the RBI policy and the budget. From the global markets and Trump, I think things settling down. If you see the dollar index today, it is trading at 1017.5. So $110 index has come down to 107.5. We discussed this yesterday also. The dollar index of 110 probably has topped out. It's very difficult now to dollar to reach to those levels of 110. That's why around 20 or 30 paisa today rupee was stronger. So whatever parameters we were looking at and we were getting worried, it's slightly settling down. The bad results are coming into prices. We are showing lot of resistance in 23,000 levels. I think the market doesn't want to break that level now. Even on the Bank Nifty 48,000, 47,900 levels that we have made, we don't intend to break down those levels except for one capitulation, which is only to hit the stop losses of retailers and HNI clients and other people. Otherwise, the markets are looking resilient. If at all, and since the global things are looking benign now, also what I think is, if at all there's a delay in the decision on the 15% corporate taxes which Mr. Trump wants to bring in. Apart from that, I think everything is in the price of the US market. So probably they will also start topping out at some point of time. If that happens, probably the money will either go to the bonds, which is one way of investing in US, because still trading at 4.63. So, even when the even when the dollar index has reduced, we are not seeing the uh, bond yields coming down, still trading at 4.63, which makes the US investors more happy investing probably in US mother markets rather than coming down at in India. So that's one thing which is not happening. But probably all the other prices being into the price, probably will not see much of the rally now in US markets. Only thing is, next rally can only come in now after we see if at all, Mr. Trump is able to reduce the corporate taxes 15%, which will not be easy process. It will require the approval from Democrats also, and let's see, because there's a lot of debt. The income on the income with the government is very less. They're always going to the Fed for release of funds, etc. So I don't think it will be an easy task. Moreover, one more thing has happened yesterday. The order which was given by Trump that from I think February and onwards, the birthright citizenship right, which Mr. Trump passed an order that it will not be valid now. The lower court itself has given a ruling that this is unconstitutional, and you cannot implement this. So things are not easy. We have seen for sanctions, he is resilient. He is not able to put the sanctions. Not even a single sanction has been put till date now. We are seeing this kind of orders being turned on, but their court itself. Then you require something for corporate taxes. You require approval from Democrats and all. There is a lot of political pressure. There are a lot of economic factors. So things will not be easy for Trump, and that's what I say. That probably Trump trade will play out in some time, and markets should top out. And with our index coming down, rupee getting strengthened, our prices of bad results and bad earnings coming into the prices, probably India will look lucrative once again, because anyways we are still growing at 6.5% GDP growth, which is phenomenal. China is growing at 5, although the numbers cannot be trusted. Europe we should not even discuss. Japan we should not even discuss. And even America is going around 2.1, 2.2%. So in that way, probably the highest growth still lies with India. We are politically in a stable condition. So all these things put together, we still feel if the government capex comes very well in budget, and if we see some good announcements in budget followed by every policy, probably we'll be heading towards 25,000 on the Nifty very soon. So that was the analysis for today. Let's see how the results comes out for ICICI Bank tomorrow and some of the mid cap companies today. And let's hope for a better session on Monday. So that's all for today. Thank you.